What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Now, this episode, this is another classic episode you're definitely not going to want to miss. I got 5 special guests with me right here in the building, and we're going to talk about the entire NFL wildcard. That's right, folks. We're going to break down every specific game, give our insight on who we think is going to win, and hey, let us know what you think down below in the description. Let's start the show in the meantime.
Touchdown with Doug Smith, got him beat Waylay. Bricks provide the hits, paving tracks I lay. Throwing haymakers, I don't need a hook. Still got him shook.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith. So I got the squad with me here today, man. I got, man, y'all used to have me maybe one guest, sometimes two. Man, we're 6 deep. We're 6 deep, man. We're halfway to dirty dozen, man. I'm going to take turns introducing everybody, but for those who are watching or your first time tuning in, we're going to take and talk about our wild card predictions, okay? We had a lot of heartbreaks, including my Dolphins, man. I practically fell asleep crying. We got King Hooli in the house. He's a Giants fan. He knows what I'm feeling.
My heart hurts so bad right now. It feels like a little man's in my chest kicking my heart with some Timberlands right now, bro. It's terrible.
New York Timberlands.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the rust joint, the rust joints. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The butters. You know
those are the joints right there.
Yes. So what I'm gonna take and do, y'all, we're gonna name. We'll probably take and start off with the Ravens versus the Titans, and then we're all gonna share our opinions, our insight, and then go to the next team predictions from there. But to start off, I gotta introduce my guest, man. I'm gonna take and start off with the man, the legend, the myth. No, he's not a myth. He's the real deal. Got Jason in the house. Jay the Plug. What's going on, man?
What's good, man? Thanks for having me, bro.
Yes, sir.
Plug.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's
good, Bogey?
Make sure you follow Jay the Plug, man. He is just he just did an interview with T-Pain, and he got all kinds of really great content out there. He's bringing it hard, man. So huge fan of Jay the Plug. Got his stuff down below. Make sure y'all sub, follow, all that good stuff. The next person I want to take a shout out is my home Bogey Bogues. Got Bogart Scott Free of the GMM Network.
Hey, give me money. Hey, man, we made it. We're 2021. They thought this was a figment of our imagination. We have arrived.
Yes, sir. And then we got the trio, the dynamic trio, championship winning trio, spread out throughout the country. We got Truth Be Told Sports Podcast. We got Mike. We got Hollow Point, Jonathan Holloway. We got King Hooli. Man, what's going on, y'all?
What up? Yeah.
What up, fellas? Nice to meet y'all.
Yeah, likewise, man.
Nice to meet y'all.
Man, and y'all know I don't bring no like whack people on my show. Everybody's cool, man. Like these are people like, man, I could just reach out to, man. They're just really down to earth folks, man. Podcast stuff aside. So super happy, super blessed to take and have y'all here. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. It's Thanksgiving. Let's get our grub on. We're going to take and kick it off with the Baltimore Ravens versus the Titans. Hollow Point, what's going on? You just joined us, man. Who you got, man? Who you got for this matchup?
I like the Ravens. I know last year Tennessee kind of handed them their lunch a little bit, but I think LJ got a little get back to get on. So they're kind of peaking at the right time. I think that running game is legit, man. They just got 406 million yards on the Bengals.
Yeah,
you hesitate, yeah. I think they just scored another touchdown while I'm looking. So, but yeah, their running game is legit, and now they got Hollywood Brown catching the ball on purpose. So, you never know. And then that defense has been solid all year. So I think they're good. We got Derrick Henry 2K. So I don't know. It's gonna be a tough matchup, but I like the Ravens.
Love it. We got Mike. Who you got next?
Man, I'm actually going to go with the Ravens also, strictly because of the defense. The Titans' defense is steadily going downhill. You can feed Derrick Henry all you want, but if your defense can't stop Jackson and that running game, you're not going to stand a chance. I think the Ravens win by 2 scores, actually.
Nice.
Love it. All right, we got Bogard. You next, man. What you got?
Oh shit! These are 2 teams that like it's very detrimental for these teams it's detrimental for them to play from behind. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen this year showed us that the Ravens, if they're, down a couple possessions, they can't play their style of game. And it goes the same for the Tennessee Titans. They're a run first team. These are 2 run first teams. But, if I have to, they say defense wins games, or, that more so championships. That's how the saying goes. But in this case, I would go with the Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens defense is more, all around, as far as comparison to Tennessee. And if Tennessee gets forced, to abandon the run, you know what I mean? Like if they get out, if the Ravens get out by 2 scores, like the homie just predicted, you know what I mean? It's, that's where you're going to see them abandon the run. Yeah. And I don't think playing from behind is their forte. They're more of a clock managing, control time of possession type of offense, the Tennessee Titans. So I'm going to go with Baltimore here. And they're at home, so
love it.
Oh, no. They're on the road. Ooh.
On the road, yeah.
Still giving it to Baltimore.
Tennessee's at home.
Yeah, still giving it to Baltimore.
Ooh, nice. Hey, they coming. All right, King Hooley, who you got, man?
I'm gonna have to go with my brothers who said before me, Baltimore. Their rushing offense is pretty dope. Lamar Jackson's don't play with that chip on his shoulder. As much as I liked Derrick Henry, and I watched like some of his highlights over the year, over this past year, and he was good. The problem is Tennessee don't have much after that. So I'm gonna go with Baltimore about 2 scores.
Ooh, nice. Jay the Plug, who you got, man?
I think Baltimore. Got to agree with everybody, man. I mean, I know it sounds pretty easy, but it's going to be one of those guys. I'll tell you what, if Corey Davis has a good game, Tennessee could take it. I think Corey Davis has to have a good game. I think he's got to show up as well as A.J. Brown. I mean, they're going to hold Derrick Henry. They're going to do whatever they can to stuff him. Granted, it's Derrick Henry, so he's probably going to pie face a bunch of motherfuckers. But like,
shut up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real now.
But like, I see Baltimore. I don't know if it's going to be 2 scores, but they're going to win the game by some amount or the other. It's Corey Davis and A.J. Brown have to both show up big time in this game to have a chance, and Baltimore's defense is going to be too good.
Yeah, Baltimore's got good corners though. They're going to have a hard time having a good game.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that. I was gonna say, Marlon Humphrey's on the outside. You got Marcus Peters coming back. Yeah. He should be healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, and they'll be able to play. They'll be able to man up Davis and AJ Brown on the outside. I mean, AJ Brown too. You can put the ball in his hand, and he'll do his best. Derrick Henry impersonation, because he's a little tank himself. But last year in the playoffs they contained AJ Brown. Yeah, I mean, but they couldn't contain Derrick Henry. I was going to call him Mark Henry. the strongest man. Chocolate. I mean, but but Derrick Henry. Yeah, I mean, if Derrick Henry gets going, bro, and if Tennessee does pull this one off, it will be a low scoring game. I'll say that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I can agree with that.
Love it. Yeah, for me, I'm gonna have to agree with y'all, man. Well, I love going against the grain, man. I gotta look at history. It's a revenge game too, because remember, Baltimore lost to Titans, so this is a revenge game. I feel like Ravens are a lot more hotter than and of course when I say revenge, I'm talking about last year in the playoffs.
They didn't forget.
Oh, and here's the thing too, is like Ryan Tannehill, they became very one-dimensional in the game. Everything was Henry. I do believe Ryan Tannehill took that step. I do believe his coaches will take and provide him those opportunities to make those plays. But still, I think it's Ravens. They're hot at the right time, y'all. You had Mike, I believe you mentioned about the cornerbacks earlier and stuff, and let's give it to B-More for sure. Dang, so we got 6 for B-More. Woo!
I feel that's bad luck.
That means put your money on Tennessee.
All the way.
Hey, that's exactly what I'm about to do, bro. I'm about to call my bookie right now.
I'm gonna put $20 and walkout millionaire. I'm retiring.
I'm done.
All right, next game. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got the Steel Curtain versus the very controversial Cleveland Browns.
Oh my God.
All right, Hollow Point, man. Take us off, man.
This is gonna be a good one. I think this is gonna be one of those games where the true colors are gonna be shown. I think you have Baker Mayfield coming out, and people don't know if he's tough enough.
Who you got for the Browns versus the Steelers?
Man, I want to pick the Steelers, but I'm going to take the Browns in an upset. I think they're going to come in with a bit of a chip because a lot of people talked crap this week about them playing not very well against the backup players for Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be an upset, but I think it's going to be similar to this week, low scoring, tight game. But I think they pull off the upset.
Love it. All right, Bogart, who you got, man?
I am going to say the Browns as well. I mean, historically, and I'm sure the greater public is going to be on the Steelers, because that's just what we're used to. But I mean, the homie, he pointed out earlier, the Steelers, they haven't been a running team at all. And I think being able to run the ball in January is imperative. You know what I mean? The Browns are, they're in this Kevin Stefanski system. They run the ball. They got a great 1-2 punch. But see, on the flip side with the Steelers, they're built by the quick hitter passing. Is probably testament to their line being so bad. They can't really pass protect, so everything's coming out quick. And then on the flip side of that, you got the Browns front is very ferocious. You know what I mean? They, you got Garrett and Olivier Verne and I forget who else I'm married. Richardson. They're a nasty front. So, Big Ben. I feel like that quick hitter game. The Dinkin Duncan. It's got to work because if not, they become very one dimensional. And then on the flip side of that, someone like Chase Claypool who averages 14 yards a target, that is truly how you attack the Cleveland Browns. You attack their secondary. Their secondary, even when healthy, is not good. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, it's kind of there's pros and cons. I feel like this is as evenly matched as you can get. Especially with the Steelers defense being as banged up as they are. You know what I mean? So, but I'm gonna take the Browns on this one for the upset. And Steelers fans out there, you're welcome because I just jinxed it, and now the Steelers are gonna win.
I'm not gonna lie. That was a ride you took me on right there. I was like, where is he going?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Player matchups.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. King Hooley, man, who you got, man?
As much as everyone thinks the Browns are going to upset, I'm going to have to go and say the Steelers, man. For simple fact, Steelers haven't won a game in over a month. We got to think about it. It's time for the change, and it's playoff time, too, so you're going to see a different team. And the reason, I don't know for sure, but they haven't they locked up playoff position early on in the season. So it's no point for them why not rest the starters like they've been doing? So these guys can come out and they're gonna come out ready to play. Love it. And this game we saw over the past, nothing like it, baby.
Now we're Mason.
Plug, who you got, man?
What's good? So I agree with the Kang. I think the Steelers are gonna pull it out. They've been hammered dog shit the past couple weeks. I think they're going to get it together and pull it out. I really do.
Tired of it.
Huh?
They tired of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They tired of it.
The football team beat us.
The football team.
They lost to a football team.
Hey, I will say though, they haven't looked good for a while. The Steelers and
they
really showed up
around, man. You can't lose that many games in a row. You know what I mean?
I mean, even they didn't get it together.
But you're wrong.
I know
that Colts game, bro. Think about this. They were bad all of December, all the way up until that second half of the Colts game. And then they took this past game, all their starters rested. So I don't know. The jury's still out on them. You know what I mean? Because they didn't look too good. They literally had to resort to backyard football. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, and another thing you got to take into account is Ben Roethlisberger is old and decrepit. He was never that mobile
and senile.
And now he can't move at all. Now he just
Will Ferrell
patting a baby and just takes sacks.
Did you just use the same adjective to describe Ben Roethlisberger as people that describe Mum Ra from Thundercats?
I did.
Yeah. Thundercats, ho!
The Steelers haven't been good all year. They've just found ways to pull out wins.
Yeah, I mean, look at would we say the Eagles with Carson Wentz were any particularly good this year, and they struggled. The Steelers struggled with them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Steelers struggled with a lot of bad teams this year.
They struggled with the New York Giants week 1, and they were clearly a team trying to get it together. You know what I mean for a while. You know what I mean, and Danny Dimes was in that game. You know what I mean. So
I just don't see the Browns going past this round.
It's
kind of hard to.
That's the thing. It's a gamble, man, because like you've seen Baker Mayfield against pressure, and it doesn't work out well normally. Like you kind of when you're going with Cleveland, you kind of hope that he's kind of made that turn. That like if they rely, it's all about preparation and like their game plan. If they try to if Baker Mayfield throws the ball more than 25 times, they lose. Right. If he relies on the running game and they run the ball, you got Chubb and Hunt. If you're not hitting them the ball every time, you're trying to lose. Like I don't understand. Like why, like when they didn't have their receivers against the Jets, which when they should have clinched the playoffs, why are you throwing the ball 53 times? I was just like, what in the hell is going on?
Right, 100%.
Like I would have been like, oh, Hunt left, Chubb right, and rinse and repeat all day. But if they don't let Baker Mayfield throw the ball over 25 times, they win. I'll just say that. But part of me don't believe that's going to happen. But we hope.
And to go back to what Jay Pug said, it's the Browns. We didn't expect them to get in the playoffs. I mean,
listen, this is just it's a sight to be seen in itself. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna see the Browns in the playoffs.
Ooh,
It's
gonna be like if an Amish
Bogey always come with the eccentricities,
right? You know what I'm saying, like, just behold in its glory what it is. You know what I mean? Like because they probably won't see it for a while. Or is this a turn of the tide, as they would say? Like, I mean.
No,
I do want to say I know one Browns fan this side of the Mississippi. You know what I mean? Like personally, but like I know a ton of Steelers fans, and like you know what I mean. There's a little part of me that wants to see the Browns win, just to be like, what y'all lost to the Browns, bro?
Man, for me, I'm
the Browns
are the Browns. I'm gonna take my, as I feel like nothing is bad forever. You know what I mean? Right. Nothing is bad forever. I mean. Dang, man. I mean, even the Chicago Cubs a few years ago, won a championship. I mean, nothing's bad forever. I'm going to
calm down.
Mine is the Cleveland Browns. All right. So next team. All right. This is crazy. And I'm struggling with this one a lot. Colts versus the Bills. Man, we're going to go reverse. Jay the Plug. Who you got?
Bills. It's just because I'm kind of going fancy right now. Like,
It's prophesized.
I'm saying, man.
He's the great Josh Allen's the great white hope this year, bro. Like,
that's it right there. That man is taking me. He's won me a lot of money, and I can't go against him, man. The way that he and Diggs are clicking, like, yeah. You ever see those videos of those two together? Like they clown on each other. That's like the best. That's the best dynamic you can have in a quarterback and a receiver. Like they've got genuine love for each other. Like they're like brothers and stuff. Like I love watching that. Them, the way they're playing, the way the defense is playing. The running game is a little.
The running game is Josh Allen.
Yeah, exactly. It's Josh Allen, but they make it work. And Allen, he just, I mean, dude, he's a magician. He pulls out wins, and when he pulls out, like he dominates. Like that team just dominates. I don't know. It's not too hard for me. I really think the Bills are going to pull it out.
Love it. All right, King Hooli, man, who you got? Colts versus Bills.
I'm going with the Bills for everything my guy Jay just said.
You covered
They're tough. I think they're a lot tougher than the Colts. We're gonna watch Phillip Rivers' last game. He's gonna go off into the sunset.
They're gonna retire him.
They're gonna retire. He's done.
Yeah. Bogart, who you got, man?
You know, man, Rivers. I think it was a valiant effort. You know what I mean? And that's another team too. That's another team. You know, they gotta always score. They gotta either score a touchdown or kick a field goal. and in order for them to play their style of defense, because they have, they're a team that's great at stopping the run. The Colts defense is great stopping the run. They're great at pressuring the QB. They have a lockdown secondary. They're almost a mirror image of the Colts. Besides, the only flip side is that the Colts have a statuesque quarterback and they have a phenomenal run game with a phenomenal a line that can run block. Then you got Josh Allen, who is basically their run game. And they run the most 4 wide and 5 wide receiver sets, so he's gonna hit you from every angle. Spread offense, like I don't know if that Colts defense can match up well. Like I mean, yeah, what is gonna be interesting is we're gonna see Stephon Diggs. He's gonna be working on Xavier Rhodes, and they played on the Vikings together, so they're very familiar with each other. You know what I mean? They practice against each other every day, so I mean, maybe. Stephon Diggs knows his weaknesses. Maybe he knows he'll bite on the double move. Either way, like the chemistry that Josh Allen and him have, and then if it's not him, it's John Brown or it's Gabriel Davis. Like they have a Bills because Tre'Davious White will take out T.Y. Hilton. You know what I mean? What are you gonna? Who do you got? Zach Pasquale. You know what I mean? Maybe Trey Burton. Like there's no real other weapons that scare me over there. You know what I mean? And if you can contain T.Y. Hilton and stop, Jonathan Taylor and company. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be a long day for Phillip Rivers. They're gonna need Blankenship to kick like a shitload of field goals because they're not gonna be able to keep up, bro. You know what I mean?
I love it. Mike, who you got, man?
I've got the Bills also. Once again, it's Phillip Rivers' last game. He's gonna do one of the things that he does the best, and he's going to throw the ball to the other team
all day.
So
it's going to be like over. You get a pick, and you get a pick.
Yeah. So the Bills' defense is going to have a field day. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs have a field day on offense, but I think they're going to have a great game. They're going to stay consistent, and Phillip Rivers is going to end the game with more picks than touchdowns, unfortunately. So I do think the Bills are going to take this one rather easily.
Love it. All right, Hollow Point, who you got, man?
It's real easy. I mean, the Bills will probably have this done by halftime, I think. It looks. Well, here's the thing, right?
Love it.
It's a home game, right? And that usually it means a little more than it does this year because of the whole COVID restrictions and stuff. But they're still going to have fans there. But there's going to be a level of comfort that Josh Allen has, and for all the reasons that y'all said, his arm talent, the number of athletes he has on the field at one time, that you can't guard everybody because somebody's going to be open and like wide open.
They just added Kenny Stills too for more speed.
Stephon, who's I'm terrible with names, but my man number 11 used to play with the Cowboys, white guy in the slot.
Oh yeah, Cole
Beasley.
Yeah,
he's a monster too. Right,
oh, yeah.
So he's a monster in the slot, and then Diggs is getting open by like 5 yards. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's not even
Diggs
close.
Is dusting everybody.
Yeah, it's just he's better than everybody this year, and I don't know who he is, whether he got some like Captain American serum or something, but he's the best.
Man,
one of 2 best receivers in the league this year.
I was singing his praises before the season started.
Yeah,
talking about his 62.2% contested catch rate. Man, it's the highest in the NFL since 2017.
That's more. Is that more than D-Hop?
Right.
Is that more than D-Hop? What's D-Hop? I wonder. Hopkins.
D-Hop ain't here. Yeah, I looked it up. Trust me, man. I looked that one up.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I
know
he's having a great season. I think
D-Hop is like 58%.
Okay,
yeah, but it's also because D-Hop, like in D-Hop's career with the Texans, he was getting like 50. No, he was getting like 50 more targets. You know what I mean?
True story.
You know what I mean? Like so if that's even more impressive in itself for Diggs. For getting less targets, and that means he's more efficient. You know what I mean? So
but he's if you look like the past,
and he got 150 targets this year. So we see what happens.
Yeah.
The past 3 or 4 games, he's been like wide open every time. He's not even close. Like the guy, when he makes his cut, he beats the guy by 2-3 yards, and then he's fast. Or like he'll catch a bubble screen, and he just leaves
the house.
Yeah. People don't give him enough respect for his route running. He's insane.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So we had Early in the offseason, I had an episode with Jay as a guest, and we actually discussed about Diggs at length. And I was more worried about Josh Allen's inaccuracies, like because he went from like inaccurate to like one of the most like top 3 accurate this year. Like he worked.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy when you got a good receiver how your accuracy goes up.
Yeah,
yes, sir. Especially somebody who can catch contested passes that well.
Right,
Big time.
right.
And like Diggs, for Diggs, I remember like I used to call him a poor man's Antonio Brown. Like,
I remember you saying that.
Because his route running is phenomenal, but like, he was always on a run first team when he was with the Vikings. And like, you would have thought like, okay, here he comes to Buffalo. They were a running team, as opposed to passing the ball the first couple years with Josh Allen, but something switched, man. They were like, listen, man, this guy's a gunslinger. You know what I mean? They put the right weapons around him, and like,
Right.
I'm going to tell you what happened because I had some inside story. First 3 games, Allen just went crazy. He started throwing the ball over the place, 400 yards here, and then he's the short yardage guy.
And he never had a 300-yard passing game until week 1 of this year.
Right.
And he had like 4 in a row.
He's throwing the ball all over the place. And this was when John Brown was like healthy. So they had John Brown and Diggs on, and then you have, I keep forgetting his name.
Beasley.
Beasley in the middle. Beasley in the middle. So they were like rolling people. And so I can imagine they in the running back room like, hey, look, we're probably not going to run the ball a lot. So let's get your block game together, work on your protections and coverages and stuff. And we'll
just hold on to the ball when we give it to you.
The ball when we're up sometimes. Just don't fumble it. All right?
Spread the Zach Moss is one hell of a closer. Like when they're protecting a lead, like Zach Moss fall for 3 yards.
Right. After when the dust is settled, then now we hand the ball off. Like but like when it's go time, it's hey Allen, throw the ball, and if you can't throw it, run it. Just that's our running game. It's Allen out and the run.
If I will say this because I do have to on the other side, if Matt Eberflus could come up with ways to stop Mahomes because he was one of the only teams that beat the Chiefs last year, and they beat the Chiefs by running the ball on them and keeping it low scoring. And I'm not saying they could do that here to the Bills, but I mean there is a path to where they're not just going to get rolled over. But if I was to put money on something, I would be like, they're getting rolled over. You know what I mean? Like. Because Matt Eberflus is one of those guys, man. Like he low key could be like one of these next head coaches. You know what I'm saying, that gets offered a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure, putting together game plans.
So next, y'all, we're gonna take it to the NFC. Okay, so we covered all the AFC. Those are our predictions. That was dope. That was dope, man. Thank you guys so much. All right, so the next game we got the Chicago Bears versus the New Orleans Saints.
Baby.
Actually, no. Here, I got you, Jay Plug. Who you got?
Oh, come on, man.
I already know the answer. I already know the answer. Here it is.
Come on, man. Come on. Look, Kamara's going to be back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy that we're not playing the fucking Vikings. Let's just throw that out there, man. Praise Jesus.
We just talked about Stephon Diggs. He's not on the same team. He's not on the Vikings team.
Yeah, I know.
You're okay.
But I think the Saints are gonna win it. I mean, they've got the offense that's been clicking, even without Mike Thomas. Thomas is gonna be back. Sanders is finally starting to come into his own. Marquez Callaway, dude, he's that guy. He's gadget. He's all over the place. Y'all see whenever he was playing for Lattimore in place of Lattimore. Mm-hmm. Yep. Two picks? Yeah. I mean, everything's starting to click, and it's about damn time. And hopefully their defense can keep it up. That's the main thing. Is if their defense can keep playing the way that they're playing, we'll keep going. Now, whether we'll get to the Super Bowl, I don't know. I hate myself for saying that. I feel like I'm gonna puke about it, but I'm a realist. When you got guys like Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay playing the way they're playing, I mean. It's tough to think about getting past them, but who knows? Anytime Green Bay has had has had a bye, they've lost when they came back.
True story.
For the last 6 times? So who knows? But I'm taking the Saints for sure.
They've also never hosted an NFC Championship in the Tundra, so you know what I mean.
Correct.
Like that could be there, but they still got to get to that game, obviously. You know what I mean? Like they could be one and done for all we know. You know what I mean? But you know what? Well, since I'm talking, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna take the Saints reluctantly here because if the Bears had put up some kind of fight against the Packers last week, I would have been like, okay, they're on fire. And according to NBA Jam rules, you know what I mean? You got to go with them because they were on fire for 3 weeks straight or 4 weeks straight. I mean,
4 weeks, yeah.
their offense was scoring 30. You know, this is a Mitchell Trubisky led offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Scoring over 30 points, 4 consecutive games. And then in a game where, all right, they're like, okay, we got to turn that back on, against Rodgers and company, and they couldn't do it. So, I mean, I guess it's you can't really use the Saints Chicago game this year as a frame of reference because it was Nick Foles and it was in Chicago. It was in the Windy City on a windy day, so it was a very low scoring game. This time they're indoors. You know what I mean? One of you guys had touched on earlier that home games aren't really the same this year because the crowd, especially in New Orleans, like in that dome, it's electrifying. You know what I mean? So. I mean, can they turn some of that up, without the audience? I mean, you're bringing over a championship caliber defense, but, on the flip side, they are coached by Chuck Pagano. So, you know what I mean? I think, with Kamara coming back, you know what I mean? They're going to be, and Jared Goff could be an X factor here too. This Chicago Bears are very susceptible to the tight end.
Jared Cook.
Yeah, Jared Cook. What did I call him?
Goff, the quarterback of the Rams.
Close.
Jared Cook. That's
Close,
what
though. I can see how you can get those two mixed up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're both guys that don't show up when you need them to, you know what I mean? Jared Cook or Goff or Ryan Phillippe or whatever, because that's who I always confuse Jared Goff with, or Ryan Reynolds even. But
Ryan Reynolds.
I digress. I'm gonna take the Saints, and I think it's gonna be whatever the under over is. I probably would pound the under. You know what I mean? I don't really see this. I think it's two teams that are going to try to run the hell out of the ball. You know what I mean? I mean, that's how you win with Montgomery.
Yeah, man. And Montgomery's been balling, man.
Yeah. But hey, that Saints run defense is top 2. You know what I mean? So I don't, what I mean? It's going to be a very long day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jimmy Graham revenge game? Huh? I go in Who Dat Nation.
Stop it with that Jimmy Graham shit.
King Goldie, man, who you got, man?
Who dat? Saints all day. I think they're gonna take that. We said it's a Mitch Trubisky led offense, and that's gonna be
That's enough said.
That's enough said. Exactly. That's enough said. So Saints all day. I can't not. It says by 10, so I'm gonna go with that.
Love
at
it.
least.
Love it. Mike, who you got?
Man, I would just love to hate on the Saints,
but
especially being from South Alabama, a couple hours from New Orleans.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Saints all the way. I mean, I can't help it. They're gonna.
Got a guy from Alabama saying it, guys. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I thought I'd seen it all in 2020.
The Bears have a good defense, but that's really all they have. Trubisky, if he has a great game, they might keep it competitive. But if he doesn't, the Saints are going to pull away easy on the over. So
Love it. Hollow Point, who you got?
Who dat? Saints are going to roll them pretty much. The Bears defense is way overrated. And I think they get a lot of credit for being who they used to be defensively. Even this year, you've seen them decline as a defense. Like, when was the last time anybody seen Khalil Mack?
Yeah,
So I'll wait.
It was like the Jags game. Like the Jags game, he got like a strip sack fumble
week
with
4 or something crazy. Yeah. It was crazy. So their defense, they don't get a lot of pressure, and they can't really cover a bed. So I think Drew Brees is pretty much going to feast on them, and I think Kamara is going to run all over them. So it's just not going to be. And I think the problem with their offense is kind of the opposite effect of what the Bills have. They just realized that Montgomery can actually run the ball. So they was like, okay, I think that's a source of them winning well, because they started handing him the ball, and they realized he can do some things with the ball. He's a good playmaker. And you limit limit Trubisky's touch or wanting the decision making per se.
Yeah.
You tell him, hey, run this play. Here are your first 2 reads. If they're not open, run. Don't do any thinking at all.
Don't do anything else.
Don't think about nothing. Just
Do
if
this
this guy's
or that,
not open,
and that's it.
that guy's not open, run or throw it away. That's it.
Don't even tell him to throw it away. Don't tell him to throw it away.
Just run. Yeah.
Just run.
But I think he's gonna make too many mistakes because that New Orleans' defense, that pressure is ridiculous. At times, especially when they're up. When they're up by a score or 2, that pressure, they just pin their ears back and just come for you. That's why I think they're going to surprise a lot of teams because their defense has pretty much been carrying them. Like when Breeze went down, and we want to give the backup
Taysom
all
Hill.
the credit or whatever, but
I give Sean Payton the credit for that one, and
Yes.
Dennis Miller.
Yeah, that too. But that defense is monstrous, man. They're all over the place, and they make plays on every level. So I like what the Saints defense is bringing, and I love Kamara. So they're going to carry Breeze to at least one playoff win. At least.
I got a hot take for this one, man. And we got 2 more. We got 2 more games after this. I predict the Saints are going to win 45-13.
Ooh.
Saints with the dub, big dub.
Man.
I feel like with the Bears, they're gonna treat this like a 17-year-old who had a 10 o'clock curfew and blow it and come at 3 a.m. and get that ass whoop. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna take a walk into New Orleans and they ain't gonna know what to do. Like, what is this? You know, it's like if an Amish person takes and leaves a compound and they watch a PG-13 and they come back on the fields of French kissing and holding hands. They ain't gonna know what the hell to do when they get back to compound. So that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna get spanked so damn bad.
Yeah.
I have spoken.
I like it.
Love it.
I like it.
All right, so we got 2 more games. I'm gonna save the best for last, but we got LA Rams. Okay, I almost said LA Chargers because the logo almost looked the dang same. Versus the Seattle Seahawks.
They play the same too. Might as well.
Yes, sir. We're gonna kick this off with Hollow Point. Who you got for this one? Rams
I appreciate that, man, because I would have went to sleep. This is gonna be a straight up snooze. I don't know who was gonna. I think Seattle should win because the Rams' offense is inept at best.
Right.
But Seattle has been failing me lately, and they have. I don't know who I'm watching when I go on the field. Is the line just? I feel like when the line just lays down, and Russ spends half the game running for his life. And yeah, he makes plays, but that's what Russ does. But it's like every down he seems to be running for his life. So it seems like they put the ball in his hand and they say, "Hey, you take us to the promised land." And a lot of times he does. Like they're the weakest 12-4 team I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what? They are. So it's just and but the Rams, they have a good defense. Like Aaron Donald's a monster. Jalen Ramsey's great. They can't score.
Demarius Williams.
Yeah,
Leonard Floyd, like they got some guys over there.
They got some beasts, but they can't score on offense. So
they really can't. And is it going to be Jared Goff here? Jared Cook?
Right.
is Jared Cook quarterback in the Rams?
Well, that's what they're playing in, but if not, that Wolford guy's in, and they were like, "Oh, he did so great. He threw for 220 yards and a pick." Okay. Yeah.
Hell of a debut.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, where's the bar of greatness? I don't understand how he did so great, but whatever. They won, and more power to him. But I picked my pick's the Seahawks.
He's probably going to put
I'm going to agree with you, man. I'm going to go to Seahawks, man, because White Jesus loves Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? Russell Wilson will be like, "Listen, White Jesus, I need to get this touchdown right here," and then he'd just be like, "Believe." You know what I mean? Like all that shit he says, that shit is true, man. Like he does so much and it seemed like this year they gave him everything he needed. You know what I mean? Right. Like you got this year number 2 with DK Metcalf. They got him, some pieces on defense to help them hold their end of the bargain. And it's like you said, the Seahawks just been failing, man. But they got thrown a bone here. White Jesus was like, "Ha, Jared Goff's not healthy." You know what I mean? Like, it's got all these. You know what I mean? It's another miracle for the 12s. You know what I mean? And
All right.
you know what I mean? So I'm going with Seahawks here with no football logic at all. Just just pure religion,
Pure white Jesus.
white Jesus.
All right, King Hooley, man, who you got, man? Rams, Seattle.
Dude, I live in LA, and it's hard to escape a Rams game, and so I'm forced to watch it while I'm waiting on a better game to watch. I'm gonna say Seattle all day against these Rams, dude. Like Russell Wilson is special, and at one point, even on our show, we were like, "Well, Russell Wilson is gonna win the MVP."
Yeah.
He's going to have those moments again in the playoffs, and they're going to be courtesy of these Los Angeles Rams. So Seahawks all day.
Love
every
it.
day.
Jay the Plug, man, who you got, bro?
Man, I hate to say that I'm so bored with this game already.
Right.
Like, I don't even want to watch it.
Snooze fest.
Rams win 11-10.
I'm bored talking about it.
Dude, I'm sitting here. I'm like, would I rather go to work or talk about this game right now? No, so, I'm thinking that the Seahawks are going to pull it out just because Russell Wilson was doing Russell Wilson things before, and everybody talks about him like he should be up for the MVP and all this. Yeah, I just feel like they're going to pull it out. I really do. I think that. Yeah. I think DK Metcalf is going to end up being a little bit too much for Ramsey this game. I don't know why. I feel like he's going to put it on him, and I think Lockett's going to end up having a bigger game because Lockett's been just crickets, bro. And I think he's going to end up having a good game. I really do. I think,
and he's coming
I
off
think
a
the
really
Seahawks
big
are going to end up taking it. It's just a gut feeling for me, really.
Yeah. So the next game that I got here, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus a football team, Washington. Who you got, man?
So with this game, it's going to be the Buccaneers. The fix is in.
Fixes it.
Fixes in.
Giselle's wife is going to ball out like Giselle's wife normally does. But, I really hope that doesn't happen because, I mean, it's just whenever you see her and her kids up there all sad and pissed off, it's like, I hope they get fucking crushed, but they're not going to.
Yeah.
Biased a little?
I hate him with all my heart. I really do. Hate is a big
I can
word.
feel it. I can feel it in your bones, man.
I love it. Don't ever change, Plug.
Bro, my ears are getting hot.
It looks. Real talk. Since the first time I seen you on camera, you got a little Triple H-y when you start talking about Brady, dude. That's all
Big Show.
One thing, I'm Brady.
Yeah, I need more lines in the head.
There you go.
Hey, man, thanks for joining us on the show, man. Have an awesome day, man.
Yeah.
Boys,
For
it was
sure,
a pleasure
Plug.
meeting all of you guys. I'm going to make sure to get on and follow all y'all and make sure I can pay attention to everything y'all do. I appreciate you guys very much.
Pleasure,
Thanks for
man.
having me.
Pleasure's all ours.
Pleasure.
All right, boys.
Have a good one, Plug.
Salute.
You too, brother.
All right, King Hooley, man. Will you be the renegade and choose the football team, or are you going Buccaneers, man? Where you going?
Hell no. I mean, even if I wanted to choose the football team, I couldn't do it, man. I'm still bitter over yesterday a little bit. And as much as I can't stand Tom Brady, I understand how the NFL works, and they want their golden boy to have a good, nice little victory before he get his ass beat the next week. So it's gonna be Buccaneers, man. Oh, real quick, I got to shout out Antonio Brown for not saying a damn thing since he's been back.
Bless him.
Rhoda.
You know what I'm saying? Like Antonio Brown,
rap song.
he hasn't said anything, so I
He hasn't
appreciate
even
that.
thrown no bag of dicks or nothing.
Nothing. He's done anything crazy, nothing. Like
And his mustache is black. It's crazy.
No, this is natural hair. Go figure.
Like I'm out
Crazy
here.
shit.
Holy shit.
He had the
But I think-
reverse Hollywood Hogan. You know what I mean? Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
So, but I'm taking the Buccaneers in this in this game for the simple fact it's still Tom Brady. I know I talked some crap about the dude, but he's good. 43 years old, threw 43 touchdowns this season. A lot more than I thought he was going to do. So I got to get my hats off to the dude. Like once he's retired, he'll probably be the greatest of all time quarterback. But I can't say it right now because still fuck Tom Brady.
Oh man, Bogart, who you got, man?
You know, it's I'm gonna say that the fix is in. I want to say that, like, I like that Plug said that, because it feels like there's no way the Bucs could lose this, because they do want to build. They want to build towards, you know, Brady Breeze again for the third time this year, and maybe we can get the, you know, we can get the billing we wanted, because both those games were a massacre on one side. You know what I mean? Maybe we get Rodgers and Brady again. You know what I mean? Because that was like a massacre on one side. You know what I mean? Like these big name box office draws, you know what I mean? Like if this was like a, you know, the 1990s where like you had all the action heroes, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you want to see, you know, Stallone versus Van Damme. You don't want to see like, you know, Heineke or whatever his name is, you know, versus, you know what I mean? Like, and like, but I will say the football team, they're built exactly like every team that destroys Brady. You know what I mean? A team that has a phenomenal, ferocious pass rush, because Brady is a statue, you know. So like the biggest assignment for this game is going to be Tampa Bay's offensive line. Like, can they contain, you know, Kerrigan and Chase and you know, Chase Young and Montez Sweat, and bro, like their front seven is nasty.
They are
5 first-round draft picks on the line.
5 of them, you know what I mean? And then you got, you know, the addition of Bostic in free agency. He's been good over the middle. And if you notice, the last time they played a team that dink and dunks, which is similar to what Brady was for years with New England, was the Steelers on a Monday night. You know, the Washington football team should have had 3 interceptions that game, because every time you try to go quick hitter over the middle, there was somebody over there. You know what I mean? There was somebody quick to make a play on the ball. And, you know, and if Mike Evans isn't out there to dominate out wide, or if he's just a decoy, I mean, there is paths to them losing this game, but I am a betting man. And, you know, I would have to get it on, like, you know, the football team, you know, covering whatever plus they give them, you know what I mean?
Got it.
Because I'm sorry, minus whatever they give them. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't take money line. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and if Alex Smith is banged up too, you know what I mean? That's another thing.
Yeah, love it. All right, Mike, who you got, man? We got Buccaneers and the football team.
Man, I'd love to say that there'd be a surprise with Washington, just for the sheer fact that I don't like Brady also, but I think the football team covers the spread.
Yeah.
And I think they have an outlier chance to pull the upset because of their defensive line. But I think Brady and the Bucs win a close one. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of people paying attention to this game, much like the Seahawks Rams, because everybody's gonna expect Tampa Bay to blow it out. So, but I'd take the spread for the football team to cover it, and Tampa to roll out so Tom can play whoever, Russell, Aaron, Drew, some kind of marquee matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Hollow Point, who you got, man? Football team? Is this who it is? You be the one?
No, absolutely not. It's they're saying that styles makes fights. Well, this is Redskins have the style that's going to get them blown out because they have a monster line, and no one can deny that. Their linebacking core is shaky at best. I've seen Bostic chase more people than he does tackle people. Because I have to see him all the time, and like my buddies are like, we start picking out their game. He's like, man, Bostic he is always out of position. It's like he's playing hide and go seek with the.
Yeah, it feels like he's trying to do too much pre-snap.
Yes,
like,
he gambles so much. He gambles so much that he misses his gaps, and they end up getting gashed up the middle. So you see my dancer in the back.
Oh no, you good?
But
he's gonna be on YouTube.
Right, I'm gonna let him know. But I think Brady and the boys are clicking, and I think everybody has accepted their roles as far as what they're gonna do and who they're gonna be. And I think it's going to be something to watch because Brady is at 4,900 years old. He's slinging that thing. Like it's looking crisp and sharp.
Something
and
in
like,
that avocado ice cream, man.
Right, exactly. And everybody hates him, and I get it, man, because he's a preppy, bougie little dude with
Stetson model.
Yeah. It's him and
I'm from the Bay Area, so I grew up around a lot of Raider fans. I'm obviously a Niner fan, but
sure.
Like I always loved Brady because of how much my Raider homies hated him.
They hate him.
I mean?
That tuck rule, man. All you gotta do is say tuck rule.
And bro, and you know what's crazy is recently Brady was on Peyton Manning's show. This was like earlier this year, and then he brought that up. He was like, I didn't even know the rule even existed. You know what I mean? He's like, if you ask me, it was a fumble. And you know what I mean? Like 20 years later, it's like, yes, that doesn't make them feel better. The
still hate you, bro. They still hate you.
Love it.
No, but I think it's gonna be a one-sided game, only for the simple fact that Washington won't have enough offense. Like you can't dink and dunk when you're already down 2 scores. So Alex Smith doesn't really have the receivers. They got McLaren, but the other guys are too young to be this is probably gonna be too big for them. Yeah. But I like they have a big upside. I think next year they get a good quarterback behind them. Alex probably done. I think they got nothing but sunlight ahead of them. But it ain't gonna be this game.
I think they'll bring another journeyman over, like maybe a Stafford or you know what I mean.
I think Stafford makes them a playoff contender. Upper echelon. I think that's what they need.
And the way Washington's built, like they they're not going to be able to run the ball on the Bucs neither. I just thought of that. Like the Bucs are literally, only behind the Saints as far as their run defense goes. So you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and only behind the Redskins is the Bucs as far as their pressures, the amount of times they pressure opposing quarterbacks. So Alex Smith might have, shit.
Yeah, that's what he's not
a long day too.
Be without fault, he's under some pressure, so we'll see.
Absolutely, and that little circle right behind the center, that's Tom Brady's sweet spot, and they're gonna be bringing it. I'm gonna predict even that I do think the Buccaneers are gonna win. I think they're gonna win. I'll even go as far as say they'll probably win like 25 to 16, but
okay.
But yeah, I think Buccaneers win it. But I think also Brady's gonna throw like a pick 6 because he'll be getting pressured. Let's just get.
Hey man, that's a score. Hey, that's between Dunbar and Kendall Fuller back there. Those corners are nasty this year.
You got some ball hawks for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, folks. Well, hey, y'all, that's another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Really quickly before we end, y'all go ahead and let the good folks know where they can find you. And also, like I said, Jay the Plug had to split a little early. I'm gonna have his stuff down below as well too. Go ahead, kick it off for you, King Hooley. Let us know.
Let's see. You can find us on where? Radio Republic on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart Radio,
Spotify, iHeart Radio.
All the good places like that. You can find us on Instagram at Truth Be Told Sports Podcast. And we also have the website, www.truthbetoldsportspodcast. Did I miss anything?
Facebook, Truth Be Told Sports Podcast.
And Moneyline Media. Yeah. Moneyline Media. Make sure you grab that app. It's either available in the App Store on Google and Apple.
Yep, on both.
So check both those out.
Yes, sir. Bogard, man. Take us home.
You can find me at the RUMBOYZ Fantasy Network on YouTube. You can also find me at rumboyz.com. And you can find the Give Me Money Network podcast as far as the Real Fantasy Playmakers and Playmaker AF, both available on Spotify and all other streaming platforms. And you can also subscribe to the GMM Network on YouTube.
Get it. And folks, look, I'm gonna tell y'all what, man.
And I'm on Instagram too. My bad.
Yes.
GMM Network on Instagram.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna have everybody's links. Before you even subscribe to my channel, go down Truth Be Told Sports. Check out the GMM Network. Also, RUMBOYZ. That's Bogard, and also as well, we got Jay the Plug. Man, he's awesome. He's on IG and he's on a few other platforms too. So I'm gonna plug your stuff down below. But man, you guys make sure you wash your nasty, dirty hands. It's still an epidemic. Everybody be safe.
Yes, sir.
God bless.
Yeah.
Peace out.
The touchdown.